All right, Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business from the legendary Horseshoe here in Columbus, Ohio. It's the Nebraska Cornhuskers coming to town to take on the 5th-ranked, world-famous Ohio State Buckeyes. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with my partner, Joel Klatt, and welcome to Columbus, partner. We didn't know if we were going to be here.
I know.
But we're here. And it's fun.
Yes.
Big Ten football, and we get an opportunity to see the Ohio State Buckeyes, who many feel has a chance to win a national championship, and they're going to be led by one of the best young players in America.
People feel they could potentially win a national championship because of that young player, Justin Fields. Listen, this guy is exceptional. You just heard the guys talking about him, so talented. And I think what everyone's been impressed with is his ability to step up as a leader and grow into his leadership role, not only for this team, but for all of college football. He had a tremendous season a year ago, but that bad taste in his mouth with the loss to Clemson brought him back, obviously, and he wanted to get on the field more than anybody, and he's going to have the opportunity today. On the other side, folks, Adrian Martinez, a year ago, people were talking about him as a Heisman dark horse, but here he was in this season, in the middle of a quarterback battle with the young Luke McCaffrey, of course, younger brother to Christian McCaffrey. Luke played so well that the coaching staff let this competition bleed all the way until this week when they finally named the experienced veteran Adrian Martinez their starting quarterback. But with the way that Luke played in camp, Gus, I'm not going to be surprised if he finds his way on the field at some point here today against Ohio State. And they might need it. Another dynamic playmaker against what seems to be a loaded and talented Ohio State roster.
All right, a perfect day for football here in the Midwest. 46 degrees, cloudy at kickoff time. The high expected to be 51. And this is a series that dates back to 1955. Ohio State leads it 7-1, and the Buckeyes have won 5 straight since 2012 by an average of 35 points a game. They won at 48-7 in Lincoln last year. Nebraska won the toss, and they've elected to receive the football. Nebraska, Ohio State. Let's get this thing we call Big Ten football started right now from the legendary Shoe. And here we go. And a touchback. So Nebraska will bring the offense on the field for the first time. In the meantime, let's go downstairs to the 3rd member of our team, the All-American girl, Jenny Teague.
Gus, thank you. And Joel, you were just mentioning that quarterback competition between Adrian Martinez and Luke McCaffrey. I had a chance to catch up with Martinez this week, ask him about it. He said that competition really lit a fire in him. He said it was everything from sprints to film study. We both have the same goal of wanting Nebraska to win, but it changed him. He told me 3 goals. We need to win games. I need to limit my turnovers and be quick and decisive. He's got a lot to prove this season.
First down and 10 of the 25, and the Cornhuskers throwing it on first down. They get close to a first. Jaxon, the senior tight end, with the reception.
And what they've done with a new coordinator, we'll get into that a little bit later, Matt Lubick, is they've gone to a progression-style passing offense where Martinez is going to be able to just read progressions, 1, 2, 3, get the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible. And you saw that come to fruition there on the first play. Gets to his second read, boom, a nice little dump off to the tight end for a 2nd and short.
Gain of 9 on the play, 2nd down and 1, and this is Martinez running for the first down, and he has it. So let's take a look at the starting lineups for Nebraska. They have a veteran offensive line returning.
They do. All 5 of those guys have had an extended period of time and a lot of experience. I think one of their best is their left tackle, Brendan Hymus. He's a very good player, number 76. And then in the skill positions, you got Dietrich Mills back at running back, and then Wan'Dale Robinson. He's really the playmaker that they need to get him touches early and often in this ballgame.
1st and 10 at the 43 for Nebraska, and they'll hand it off to McCaffrey in the backfield, breaks it down the sideline. McCaffrey cuts it back, still on the move at the 30. McCaffrey running like his big brother down to the 5. They stuck him in, Joel, at running back.
Well, they told us that he was electric, and watch this. They're going to run a little counter play, and they're going to get him going this way, and then watch him come right back. Great block on the outside. Good block there by the tackle, and a missed tackle. McCaffrey gets himself loose down the sideline. You can tell he's such a quality playmaker. Excellent high school player, obviously, and he watched older brother, and he's watching his older brother his entire life, so you know he knows how to carry that rock.
Christian McCaffrey, the prolific running back for the Carolina Panthers. A gain of 47, first and goal at the 10. Here's Martinez running it, bounces it outside. Martinez, touchdown, Cornhuskers. Nebraska opens up and just pounds the ball down Ohio State's throat to take a 6-0 lead on their first series of the game.
They thought they were going to be able to run the ball well, and one of the reasons why is because of the fact that their quarterback, Adrian Martinez or Luke McCaffrey, has the ability to hurt the defense with their legs. And look at him. He's trying to run that left. Cooper is right there, 0, and so he just takes off to the right side and finds himself in the end zone. What a series.
Connor Culp comes in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. So how about this, folks? Nebraska marching it down the field. 4 plays, 75 yards. They score in 1:51. Hello, Ohio State. Time to play ball in the Big Ten. This is the stage where history's made. Time now for progressive game flow. From the legendary Horseshoe here in Columbus, Ohio. The first game here took place back in 1922. The 99th year of Ohio State football at the Horseshoe. And I tell you what, Buckeyes being challenged early. Let's see how they respond as Justin Fields and company prepare to come onto the field, and it's a fair catch. So here comes Justin Fields, 6'3", 228, junior from Kennesaw, Georgia. Last year he threw 41 touchdown passes, only 3 picks, rushed for 485 yards, and 10 rushing touchdowns.
And while they lost so much talent on their defense, and by the way, that drive was so quick we couldn't even get into all the talent that they lost on their defense. Kudos to Nebraska. They return so much productivity on this offensive side. They feel like they're better up front with their offensive line. Fields has more weapons on the outside and his wide receivers. The biggest question for their offense, Gus, is going to be how they replace J.K. Dobbins in the backfield.
First down and 10 at the 25. Master Teague, who was Dobbins' backup in the backfield. Fields rolling out of the pocket, throws on the far side, and it's caught. Chris Olave changed his number from 17 to 2 this year, and he makes his first catch of the season.
Well, this offensive line might be the best offensive line in America, in particular after Wyatt Davis opted out and then opted back in. He's going to be a first-round talent. He's at right guard, and then very young but talented on the outside, and Trey Sermon's going to get some run at running back as well.
After the 14-yard gain, they give it to Master Teague. And Teague plagued with an Achilles injury during the offseason. Looks like he's healthy and ready to go.
This Nebraska team up front, they're replacing all of their defensive line. They feel like they're probably stronger in the back end. Certainly their linebackers, Colin Miller leads that group. He's an experienced player. And then in the secondary, lots of experience, including a guy back from injury a year ago, Dante Williams, who they really believe in as safety.
Second down and 8 at the 41 after the 2-yard gain. Now it's Justin Fields in the shotgun. He'll drop back to throw it with time. Over the middle and caught. Very good grab by Garrett Wilson. And he'll get out of bounds. Wilson, 30 catches last year and 5 touchdowns.
That's just a true freshman, and now he's more experienced. He certainly played so well, Gus, and we had a lot of these games late in the year a year ago. They feel like he's primed to take that next step and be a great threat for them on the outside. He's going to move into the slot position, so when they're in a 3-receiver set like they are right now, there he's going to be right in the slot.
5-star recruit out of Lake Travis High School in Austin, Texas. First down and 10 after the 24-yard gain. At the 35, opening series for the Bucks. Fields, looking, dancing, surveying, breaking tackles. Now he'll run it. Oh, and he is tripped up and taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Well done by Will Honus.
And great coverage down the field by that experienced secondary that I was talking about earlier. Fields had nowhere to go with that football, and it allowed that late pressure from Will Honas to get there and get him down. And now they're back behind the chains, Gus, with a 2nd and long.
2nd down and 15 at the 40. Teague remains in the backfield. We have not seen Trey Sermon as of yet. And Teague hit behind the line of scrimmage, dropped for a loss again. Ty Robinson, Colin Miller in on the play, also Ben Stille.
Seemed like there was a mistake up front. The defensive line was unblocked in the middle of the defensive line. That's not what you want. Now you're going to need some positive yards just to get back into field goal range. What little wind there is right now, Gus, is into Ohio State's face. I would suspect they would need at least 6, maybe 7 yards to make this a better field goal opportunity.
3rd down and 16. Fields runs it straight ahead, and Fields goes down at the 30. Caleb Tanner with the tackle. And one thing about this Ohio State team, they have one of the best batteries, punter and kicker, in all of college football. And Drew Chrisman, their punter, and Blake Hallbeal, their kicker.
They do, but it looks like Ryan Day says, I'm keeping my offense on the field, and it looks like they'll go for it here on 4th down. This down and distance, you got to watch that ball. Look for the first clap to try to draw him offside. A big hard clap from Justin Field.
4th down and 5 at the 30. Opening series for Ohio State. Here's Fields over the middle and caught. This time it's Garrett Wilson again. 1st down at the 16.
Nice route, just a little inside cut, but watch this. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Wilson still able to get the catch. Great concentration by the young wide receiver to move the chains.
A 14-yard gain. 1st and 10. Teague near side. And Teague chopped down by Cam Taylor-Britt. Secondary for Nebraska, very solid.
They are, and they're fast. And we do have a Cornhusker down right now on the near side. And this is not a team that has a tremendous amount of depth in Frost's third year here.
Excuse me, that's Ben Stille.
That is not a guy that they can afford to lose. He's been a very good leader for them, and in a defensive line that is all brand new faces. Stille was the guy that had the most experience. 31 tackles a year ago.
And they are looking at his right leg rather. In the meantime, we'll step away. Back after this. Fans voted in Wendy's and Fox College Football. Listen, you're looking at the Wendy's Viewers Choice Cam. Go to @CFB on Fox on Twitter to enjoy this alternative view for the rest of the game. Interesting view. Ohio State at home. Season opener. Down here in the 1st quarter as Nebraska scored on their opening drive in 1 minute and 51 seconds. Ohio State has had to go for it on 4th down. Now they face 2nd and 6 at the 12. High snap, handle, Teague spins, and he'll gain positive yardage barely as Master Teague goes down. Colin Miller, the senior from Fisher, Indiana, with the tackle.
And Colin Miller has to be their best player on defense. He's their best leader. He's very experienced. He had 67 tackles a year ago.
Ohio State goes tempo, play fake. Fields rolls out of the pocket, looking for his tight end. Doesn't have it, hits the sideline, turns it up, and knocked out of bounds at the 1. Justin Fields, they don't want to run him, do they, Joel?
No, not unless they have to. You heard Coach Meyer talking about that in the pregame show. They don't want to expose him to more hits than he needs to take because the aspirations of this team are dependent on number 1 being their quarterback.
1st down and goal at the 1. 11th play of the drive. Master Teague looking for pay dirt, and he has it as he pulls his way in. Master Teague scores the touchdown for Ohio State, and the Buckeyes respond quickly.
On the back of that 4th down conversion, and they give it to Master Teague, a big back. He is 220 pounds, and you can see he just lowers his shoulder and runs right down the middle of that defense for a nice touchdown.
Master Teague, he was the number 1 backup to J.K. Dobbins last year as Hallbeal adds the extra point. So Ohio State levels the game at 7 on the Master Teague touchdown. Back to Columbus in a moment. Big Note Saturday is presented by AT&T Business, keeping your business connected now with 5G nationwide. And is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Welcome back to the Ohio State University, where we have a tie ball game, 7 up, 11 plays, 75 yards. Buckeyes scoring 5:05 on the Master Teague 1-yard touchdown run. Hobbiel ready to send it away. Cam Taylor-Britt, the deep man, and he'll signal for a fair catch inside the 5. Let's take a look at this Ohio State defense. A lot of changes here.
Well, we thought we were going to get to this in the first series, but Nebraska scored so quick. Listen, you're trying to replace a ton of talent. Obviously, Chase Young up front. A lot of those defensive tackles are new faces. They're reshuffling in that second level, and then here's where they're missing a ton. Gus, that secondary. Shaun Wade, yes, opts back in, but he's changing positions to go from slot corner out to the outside. And then I think, and I know that this is going to be crazy, the most unheralded player on last year's defense was Fuller, the free safety. He was the brain of the defense, and he was the one that prevented big plays, and we already saw a big play happen on the first series.
Martinez throwing on first down, and he'll pick up 8, maybe 9 yards as Wan'Dale Robinson, the sophomore from Frankfort, Kentucky, makes the catch.
We got a new defensive coordinator, co-defensive coordinator, as Jeff Hafley moved on to Boston College. They're going to be trying to run that same scheme, but I got to tell you, that scheme, Gus, was so specific to the talent that they had a year ago. And now Kerry Combs comes back to Ohio State as the co-defensive coordinator, and he's trying to run that same scheme that they ran a year ago. But I got to tell you, I don't think that they have the personnel to do that in the secondary as effectively as they did a year ago.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 85. It's a 5-yard penalty, second down.
Of course they don't, Joel. You're absolutely right. Remember, Chase Young, 2nd overall pick to the Washington football team. Jeff Okudah, 3rd overall pick to the Detroit Lions. Damon Arnett, 19th overall pick to the Raiders. J.K. Dobbins is gone. But then Jordan Fuller, 6th round pick to the Rams, and he started on opening day for L.A. Here's a screen on the far side, and it's Robinson. No room. He'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as Jonathan Cooper, healthy this season, makes the tackle.
I was so interested to see how they would respond on this drive, because I spoke with Jeff Hafley this week, and he told me that, you know, they're going to have to find their own way as far as the scheme goes, because it's hard to fix what's not yours as a coach. And this defense is a little bit new for Kerry Combs, and the schematics are a little bit new. And they've come out on this series and obviously done a great job.
Nebraska faced with a 3rd down and 5 at the 30. Martinez looking. Martinez double clutch and just grounds this football. Cade Warner, the son of Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, the intended receiver. And Nebraska will punt it away.
And that's the one thing that Nebraska, I would say, is very insufficient, is at the wide receiver position. I think Cade Warner is their best player. He's very smart, high IQ. He's taught the offense during this quarantine time over the offseason to everybody else on the team. Highly respected. That's why they voted him captain.
Will Christie sends it away. Garrett Wilson, the deep man for the Buckeyes. Wilson over the shoulder grab, wants to run it, makes a first man miss, tiptoes up the sideline and gets out of bounds at the 25. So coming up, Justin Fields and the Ohio State offense back on for the 2nd time. This game level at 7. Justin Fields came out of high school as the #1 dual-threat quarterback recruit and attended the University of Georgia in his home state, where he played in 12 games but didn't start during the 2018 season. Instead of returning to Georgia, he opted into the NCAA's transfer portal, where he found himself a home as a Buckeye, going 13-1 last season, throwing 41 touchdown passes, running for 10 more, He led Ohio State to the college football playoffs and was a Heisman Trophy finalist. First down at the 24. And they'll run it with Fields, and Fields gets to the 31, make it the 32-yard line. Cam Taylor-Britt brings him down.
Trey Sermon now in the backfield, Gus, and I'm really interested to see how he plays for this Ohio State team. Transfer from Oklahoma, graduate transfer. I think he's their best back. I think he's the most dynamic back, and will give them the most burst.
And they'll give it to him this time, looking for the first down, and he'll be denied that first down by Colin Miller. But Trey Sermon played 37 games and ran for more than 2,000 yards and scored 25 touchdowns over 3 seasons at OU.
And Buckeye fans will remember he's not shy or used to playing here. He got his first career TD from Baker Mayfield in that game when Oklahoma came up here and beat the Buckeyes in the shoe.
Baker Mayfield taking the flag and stabbing the O. That turned a lot of people off around here. Fields, you think, runs it to the point where, wasn't it last year, or I think it was last year when Nick Bosa and the 49ers played the Browns and
pulled it into the NFL.
Exactly. It was personal.
Oh, man. Listen, that's the best part about college, right? The rivalries and everything that goes on in college football, it never dies. It lives on forever.
First and 10 at the 36. Fields now, near side throw. And it's caught. Chris Olave. This kid is just too sweet. He's too sweet, folks. Chris Olave, what a heck of a player.
Oh, man. He's so smooth. You know, I think last year I even said, what is this, smooth like silk sheets. I mean, that's how he moves, whether he's down the field, short routes. I think he's primed for a monster season. I won't be shocked if he's up in there in the 80-catch range.
You've slept on silk sheets? Okay. Fields steps up in the pocket, and he's tackled for a loss. No, he keeps fighting. Look at the power.
Woo, that's some plant-based power right there.
Plant-based power.
I'll tell you what, this is one of the things that all the defensive coaches that you talk about Justin Fields, and it looks like maybe that knee was down. I wonder if they'll try to stop this and bring it back. It looked like he gained 5 extra yards. They got the play off, Gus.
Fields looking for the deep ball. Touchdown, Ohio State, Garrett Wilson. Justin Fields put that one on the money.
And he read it perfectly. What a great job by Ohio State here. Watch the safety in the middle of your screen. As soon as he flies back and towards his right, Fields is going to take him there with his eyes, and then he goes back to the post route and delivers it beautifully. Right in stride. I mean, you talk about a ball. That is a dime from Justin Fields, and a big reason why, folks. He is one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. There's your evidence. The second touchdown for the Buckeyes.
Hallbeal, extra point, good. Ohio State back-to-back touchdowns. This time, Garrett Wilson. And we've got a 14-7 game here in Columbus. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Ram, built to serve. Brutus the Buckeye may not be here today, folks, but he is in the hearts of Ohio State fans and players. Debuting in 1965. The mascot has undergone changes over the years, but he's always been a fan favorite. There he is, Brutus. First of all, it's ridiculous that Brutus can't play the game. Come on, Big Ten. We got to make a call, Joel. And Nebraska with the fair catch signal. And I tell you, we saw Brutus yesterday on the practice field, and he really chumped out Reggie Bush.
I was just going to say, I don't know if it's the big time. I think Reggie prevented him from being in here. Man.
They had a push-up contest, folks. I don't know if you saw it during the pregame show. Reggie thought he could go head up with Brutus, and then all of a sudden Brutus hit him with the one-handed push-up.
It was over.
It was O-W.
Reggie, I get it. Everyone's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. That one-handed push-up was like, bam!
Mike Tyson. First down and 10 at the 25 for Adrian Martinez. Martinez, quarterback run with room, and Martinez breaks it back, picks up the first down. Baron Browning with the tackle.
Beautiful run there by Martinez, and this is the one thing that I think gives this defense the most fits. And you could argue that it gets every defense fits, but it's that quarterback run. And watch, he's going to wiggle just to his right. He's just going to find that lane, and the offensive line did a great job of covering up color. Get a hat on a hat is what it's called, and then Martinez just finds his space. And now Martinez heads to the sideline here. Luke McCaffrey in the game now. It looked like there was an equipment issue with Martinez, so here's Luke McCaffrey, the heralded freshman.
From the 35, high snap handle. They give it to Mills, tries to get outside. He's dragged down. Werner, as well as Javonte Jean-Baptiste, combining on the tackle. As Martinez has to get some equipment check on the sideline.
Like something happened after that quarterback run where his chin strap kind of dropped out of that. You can see they're working on the top side of that chin strap. It dropped out of that casing, and now they're trying to tighten it back up, and McCaffrey's on the field.
Second down at 14 at the 31. Mills, the deep back. Bobble snap by McCaffrey. Picks it up.
Well, that's a concern, right? And anytime a young quarterback gets out there or you start switching between guys, I always worry about the center quarterback exchange, and he puts it on the ground. Nebraska fortunate that it bounced right back to him, and now he's going to be in an obvious situation where this is a drop back pass. If I'm Scott Frost and Matt Lubick, the offensive coordinator, I got to think about a screen here and not putting McCaffrey in a bad spot.
And he's going to run it. McCaffrey, he's got wheels, breaks it back. Whoa, what a run. He won't pick up the first down. But I tell you what, Marcus Hooker threw himself under the chariot there. McCaffrey just plowed it.
I mean, as a defensive back, you're never expecting the quarterback to drop his shoulder like that, and he got so close they'll go for it on fourth down.
Fourth down and 2. And you can tell that young Luke McCaffrey's been hanging out with his brother. Folks, look at his guns. He has his mother's physique.
Now,
even though Ed McCaffrey was a pretty good player.
I was going to say, it was pretty good, but I think Mom was the best athlete in the family, and they will punt it away after they tried to draw him offside. Probably a smart move from Scott Frost.
DeMario McCall, the deep man. Lets it go over his head. Oh, it takes a Nebraska bounce and is down at the 1-yard line. Well done on special teams for the Cornhuskers, trailing by 7. Now, there was no winner last week, so this Sunday, Fox Bet Super 6 is giving you another chance at $1 million. You can play for free right now, so download the Fox Bet Super 6 app and make your picks for Sunday's games for a shot at $1 million. Unfortunately, we aren't able to participate in that, Joel. $1 million, we could retire.
I'll tell you what. Getting my wheels turning right now. No, I kid. I love that Super 6. You get everyone involved. I think it's a great way to get involved in games that don't involve even your own team.
So here comes Justin Fields. Ohio State 5th-ranked team in the nation. Minute and 26 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And the Buckeyes will start from the 6. Teague. Get to the 10 before being driven out of bounds. I'll tell you one thing about this Ohio State team. Their offensive line, year in and year out, very good, underestimated all the time.
That's right, and it's one of the reasons they're so excited about this season as we look at the season refresh sponsored by Coors Light.
Fields runs, throws on the run, and it's caught. Jamison Williams, my favorite player on the Buckeyes, Joel. I'd follow him anywhere.
Why's that?
Where we going? What we doing? I'm with you, number 52. Wyatt Davis.
Wyatt Davis. I'll tell you what, man. He opted out, then came back in. He's one of the best offensive linemen in America, the right guard. Very physical player and a great leader for this team.
And they'll hand it off. Teague. No, it's Fields on the quarterback keeper as he'll plunge forward. They're running him a little bit more than we expected, I would say.
Yeah, and what's interesting here is that a lot of these are reads, right? So these are Fields' decision. This is a post-snap read here in the run game. And what Nebraska is doing is that they're giving a player and designated a player to the running back and forcing Fields to carry the football, which I know Ryan Day is not going to be happy about in the long term. He doesn't want Fields to have 10, 15 carries every single week. So that's something that Ohio State's going to have to adjust to. It's a nice little game plan from Nebraska so far.
That takes us to the end of the first quarter. Nebraska has to feel good, trailing by only 7 to Ohio State on the road. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. And welcome back to Columbus. Ohio State now faced with a 2nd and 3 at the 24. Fields near side, and he'll hit Smith-Njigba. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, a freshman from Rockwall, Texas. They're really high on this kid.
Let's take a look at the team comparison sponsored by Safe Light Auto Glass. You look at the rush yards. Nebraska came out absolutely popping on the run. 3rd downs, though, Ohio State 2 of 3, and Fields right now 7 of 7. He's perfect so far today.
3rd down and 3 at the 24. Let's see if Nebraska can get off the field as we start the 2nd quarter.
Got to get some pressure on Fields. Get into his face.
He'll hand it off Teague. And he will have enough for a 1st down. So will Ryan Day go for it deep in his own territory? Looks like he will.
Man, I don't know. I think you've got to punt this away with this field position. In particular, after that first series that Nebraska had offensively. Remember, their last series when they punted, Martinez had to leave the field, and then McCaffrey fumbled the snap. So I think this is the right decision here, is punt the ball away and create a longer field and help your defense out a little bit.
Drew Chrisman is 2nd team preseason All-American, the punter. He's a 2-time Ray Guy Award semifinalist. And he belts one here. And it's fair caught at the 21-yard line by Cam Taylor-Britt. Now tomorrow on Fox, Aaron Rodgers, fresh off the loss to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, he will lead the Packers against Deshaun Watson and the Texans, or the Cowboys square off with Washington or other regional action. Check local listings for the game in your area, or watch everything on the Fox Sports app.
This will be quite the battle, and obviously everyone talked about the historical battle between Rodgers and Brady a year ago, but Deshaun Watson is playing at a high level. That's 68%, 13 touchdown passes, and now they'll be searching for a new head coach down there in Houston.
Luke McCaffrey in the backfield and running back for Nebraska. And they'll find Robinson. Robinson trying to break a tackle. Look at the fast feet, and he does. And he'll pick up positive yardage.
Well, this is a guy that they've got to get touches to in any way that they can. And that was a creative way right there. You got McCaffrey in the backfield, and they try to throw out just a little screen. And Shaun Wade was defending Robinson, held on to that shoe to the point where he got pulled off his foot. Now he's going to have to go to the sideline to put it on. But that's a guy that they have got to attack the defense with. You saw the explosiveness that he had just on that one little run.
Last season, 2nd team freshman All-American. One of 4 finalists for the Paul Horning Award, as McCaffrey carries the load, and he's stopped by Haskell Garrett.
And this is interesting because Martinez did not leave the field, so this is not like a McCaffrey drive. Right now they are just having both guys on the field. Now McCaffrey will leave, and
I've never seen a player switch from quarterback to running back. Have you ever seen that?
Well,
in the midst of a game.
I didn't see a lot of things Christian did either, so maybe it just runs in the family.
I hear you. 3rd down and 3 at the 29 for the Cornhuskers. Robinson in motion. Martinez looks that way over the middle. Caught, 1st down. Nebraska. Well done. Jack Stoll with the catch. And Stoll, they say he's down, and Stoll grabbing his left knee. Oh.
The ruling on the field is that the ball carrier was down by rule when his head hit the ball ground with possession of the ball. There's an official's timeout for an injured player on the field.
Took a shot to that left knee,
and
by Marcus Hooker.
and he went immediately down, and his cleat was in the ground. It looked like that arm was down before the ball started coming loose. Oh, man, I hate that contact, but he's got control, and now once that elbow hits, so I do not believe that is a fumble, and this will be Nebraska ball. Let's just hope that Jaxon is okay.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Verizon. The network more people rely on gives you more. And welcome back to Ohio State. Baddest band in the land will perform at halftime. How do you know, as a quarterback, when you drop back, who to throw the ball to?
Well, Nebraska.
I know that sounds like a silly question.
No, I mean, listen, in general, if it's zone defense, you're trying to read a defender, and your offense is trying to bracket that defender. If you're reading progression style, man coverage, or just progression style offense, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Your eyes have got to follow that path.
And Martinez throwing incomplete. This intended for Travis Vokalek, defended by Shaun Wade.
This one felt forced a little bit. He read the number one progression. He was in the flat. I thought he was open. That ball's got to go into the flat right away. Watches, you got a little route, and when I say flat, this is the wide receiver 26 that's open, and he forced that ball. Shaun Wade was in perfect position to defend Vokalek down the field.
Makes it 2nd down and 10 at the 44. And they'll hand it off to Mills with running room, and Mills almost picked up the first down, dragged down from behind by middle linebacker Tough Borland.
Great block here. Watch 71. He's going to come up and he's going to block number 20, Pete Werner. Great block. That's Matt Farniok, one of their best players. That opens the hole. Mills explodes right through and creates a 3rd and short. This is a team that ran the ball really well a year ago. Did not throw it in particularly very well. That's Tough Borland, one of the best leaders, captain for this Ohio State team that's shaken up, has to come off the field. And you heard that, keep running the football. These offensive linemen, again, very experienced. All 5 of them have a lot of playing time at Nebraska. And in one of these 3rd and short type of situations, they want to come off the football, roll off the football, and get this with the run game.
Luke McCaffrey in at quarterback, and he'll pick up the first down. We told you about this offensive line for Nebraska. They return all 5 starters, and they're trying to channel their inner Dave Remington. One of the great one of the great offensive linemen in the history of the game.
Great push from that offensive line, pushing that Ohio State defensive line back. Winning the line of scrimmage, Gus, it's still the mainstay. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to have offensive success, and they certainly did there on that 3rd down.
1st down and 10 at the 43. Quick handoff inside Mills. And Mills, 2019 honorable mention, all Big Ten in his first season in Lincoln after rushing for 745 yards. Georgia Tech transfer, 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard pickup. Martinez sprints out, delivers, wide open receiver. Austin Allen, 3rd string tight end, will pick up big yardage as Marcus Hooker finally brings him down.
Yeah, and just a miscommunication here with the defense. Watch as Allen's just going to come across the formation, and then he's just going to slip right by the linebacker, and Warner never goes with him. That's an easy completion and a nice little series here for the Huskers.
Gains 27 yards on the play. 1st and 10 at the 14. Martinez hits the corner, and Martinez knocked out of bounds close to the 5. Tell you what, this is a different looking Nebraska team in Scott Frost's third season.
There's no doubt they've got some urgency right now. He talked about that the culture is right on this team. They've had some attrition over the course of his first couple of years. He thinks Martinez is going to take the next step as quarterback, that fire that was lit under him by the young Luke McCaffrey is going to get him to play with his hair on fire. That's the way that he wants him to play, and he's certainly running like it early in this game.
2nd down and 2 at the 6. Martinez again with the quarterback run, and he'll pick up a 1st down. Inside the Ohio State 5.
Gus, what I am impressed with so far with Nebraska is their physical nature up front. They're winning the line of scrimmage. This was a concern for Ohio State coming into this game, was the fact that they didn't feel like their defensive line was nearly as good as it was a year ago.
1st down and goal at the 3.
These big sets, see both those tight ends in there.
And they'll hand it off Mills. Straight ahead. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Nebraska. And with 8:24 to go in the 2nd quarter, opening day for these two teams in the Big Ten. Cornhuskers with a chance to tie this game at 14.
What a series there. Some run, a little play action. Boy, that stretch out. It looked from that angle like he got that ball across before that left elbow came down. That's going to be the question. You see where the elbow comes down.
Connor Colt in to attempt the extra point. And it's good.
Whew, how about that series?
14 up. 8:24 to play. 2nd quarter. Got a ball game brewing here in Columbus. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. For the playbook on home loans, Rocket can. 14-14. Nebraska and Ohio State. And it looks like the Bucks have a fight on their hands today, because Adrian Martinez and this Nebraska team came ready to play. Demario McCall, the deep man. Connor Culp will send it away. Line drive kick. Takes a bounce. And McCall picks it up inside the 5. And will go down at the 11. Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are really trying to do a great job in bringing sports back. So restore play. That's the campaign. Text play to 36413 to donate.
Ohio State's got to find some run game outside of Justin Fields. So far has not been very good. And they'll go back to Trey Sermon now, the transfer from Oklahoma.
1st down and 10 at the 12. Fields will throw it on 1st down. And he's got Olave out of bounds at the 25. Knocked out of bounds by Cam Taylor-Britt.
Beautiful pass there on the outside. Fields' arm looks stronger to me this year. And maybe it's just his ability to throw it in rhythm, but it's coming out a little quicker. He looks very confident throwing the football. He is right now, Gus, 8 of 8 for 129 yards and a touchdown.
1st down and 10 at the 24. And he handed off Sermon. And Ryan Day told us in our Zoom meeting yesterday that they worked on his release during the offseason when they could.
Yeah, as much as they could. And again, they fought hard to be back here and playing this season of college football. But there was a point where they started working even on combine drills because they didn't know if Justin would ever get a chance to suit up for Ohio State again.
On 2nd down and 6 over the middle. Another completion. This time it's Luke Farrell. One of the great treats that we get to experience, folks, is going to the Ohio State facility and meeting with the coaches and players. We get a chance to eat lunch. They feed us and we talk to the guys, but because of COVID-19, we are unable to go to the facility. 3rd down and 1 at the 33.
Obviously safety first, but how many of you out there You never have to be on Zoom again. Would that be Zoom?
What is that? Yeah, here we go. As Sermon looks for the first down, I don't think he's going to get it.
I don't think he did either, and Nebraska is excited on that far side. Great job by that defensive line. Ben Stille, who exited the game earlier, he was back and is back on the field and just didn't go anywhere. Watch Stille right in the middle. He just stands the left guard up, Harry Miller. And Ohio State's not able to win the line of scrimmage, and here Ryan Day will go for it again.
On 4th and 1 at his own 33. Dangerous play here. And a timeout called by Nebraska. We'll take a break. 6:19 to play, second quarter. Scott Frost has his guys prepared today.
Two straight series that we've seen, first Master Teague, and then on this series, Trey Sermon not be able to pick up a short third down opportunity. So this backfield, I'm telling you folks, replacing J.K. Dobbins is not going to be easy, and now Ryan Day is going to go for it here on 4th down.
At his own 33. Or will he go for it? Ruckert in motion. Quarterback sneak and first down.
That's a great option. Fields is 6'3", 230 pounds. He's strong, he's athletic, and he just picks that little hole. You see him how he slides down the line of scrimmage. So what he's doing is he's trying to find the bubble in the defensive line. They were all stacked inside the guards there, and so he just said, okay, I'm just going to slide outside, dive for the first down, and he moves the chains for the Buckeyes. They got to find some run game outside of Fields. That's imperative for the success, not only today, but for the rest of their season.
Fields drop back. Fires. Olave! Oh, what a route. What a catch on the move. Too sweet, folks. Chris Olave.
Man, I'm telling you, he's going to have a monster year, and I think maybe this wide receiver group as a whole could have a monster year. We already see them struggling running the football. It could be a year in which the wide receivers have to carry them. Beautiful ball, good anticipation from Fields, and Olave was wide open.
Play fake. Fields rolling out of the pocket, tries to square his shoulders, throws on the move, and it's caught. Garrett Wilson with the grab. And a flag on the play. And ironically, Joel, we've seen a lot of games in the Big 12, but for these two teams in their first game, not a lot of penalties so far in the first half.
Yeah, it's been fairly clean, although this one here, I think they're going to get first a hold on Nebraska, and then late, right there at the end of the run, JoJo Doman, number 13, he came in, kind of led with his shoulder, not the crown of his helmet, but he hit Garrett Wilson high. We'll see if it's a target.
The result of the play is a completed pass. Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 9. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 9. The previous play is under further review.
Markel Dismuke is number 9. The senior from Compton, California.
He's not the one that hit Wilson. They're going to be looking at 13. See, Dismuke is the one that had the holding against him. Here, right here, he's going to lead.
Correction, we are reviewing the targeting on number 13.
That's right. Good announcement there. Now, Wilson's not technically a defenseless player because he's kind of a runner after the catch, although that'll be determined by replay.
What's wrong with that tackle, Joe?
Well, listen, in real speed, I understand why the flag is out, but here in replay, look, shoulder, he doesn't hit him up in the head or neck area, he hits him in the chest, and he moves his helmet to the right. Mike Pereira is with us. Mikey Rulebooks. Mike, what do you think about this?
Mikey Rule, you know, I'm with you, Joel. Here you're talking about, did they rule that he was still defenseless? And I think that he did. I mean, he gets that extended period of time. But even if he's defenseless, you're talking about the helmet, the shoulder, the forearm, the wrist to the head or neck area. And to me, leads with the shoulder here, and it's shoulder-to-shoulder contact. And remember, you have to take this play from scratch. Replay does, and they have to look at all aspects of the play. And if there's any doubt, then you take holding off. And to me, this is when they ought to take off.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and Joel, I also like the fact that this automatically goes to review, because you're talking about guys being suspended for the rest of the game. And this is a safety net that is a good safety net. And boy, when it happens in real time, like you say, it's literally bang, bang, and it's loud, and it looks really violent. So you'll see why you get the flag. But again, I agree with you. I think they should take this off. And by the way, the defensive holding now still could be enforced, but I think the pass ended up complete, so that would still be declined.
Thank you very much, Mike. Here's the call.
After review, there is no foul for targeting on Nebraska number 13. The result of the play, first down.
All right, and I know Ryan Day's not going to love that, because trust me, there was no one more frustrated than Ryan Day with how targeting is officiated in college football after last year's.
I thought that was an awful call.
I did
awful,
too.
Just awful.
I absolutely agree with you, and it changed the dynamic of that game as Fields is on fire here early. How about that? Best start of his career as far as completions to start a game. 11 for 11, 176 and a touchdown, in large part due to the fact, Gus, they have not established the run game with their running backs.
So first down and 10 at the 22. Sermon in the backfield with Fields, and they give it to Sermon with running room this time, and Trey Sermon dives forward, stopped by Markel Dismuke and Will Honus.
They're going to use a little tempo here. I would expect them to get after it with that play-action pass here.
Fields steps up in the pocket, wants to run it, spins, and backs into a first down. On 2nd and 3.
Now that's good coverage from Nebraska, because they tried to throw all the wide receivers over to the left side of that formation. They snapped the ball quickly, got a little play-action pass, rolled Fields out, and they're trying to get an over route completed, and the coverage was beautiful, and Fields just had to run it himself, and looks like to be just short. And they'll look for a conversion here.
So that'll make it 3rd down and 1 at the 13.
We'll see if one of these backs can actually convert in a 3rd and short scenario here for the Buckeyes.
Sermon, and he won't get it. Wow! JoJo Doman. What a hit.
Look at him close fast off that left side of the defense, right side of the offensive line, and he just took off, and it looks like Fields supposed to read him, and he probably should have pulled that ball and taken it himself, and Luke McCaffrey loves it on the sideline as Nebraska holds.
And Ohio State going for it on 4th down, it looks like. Well, there's a flag on the play. We'll see. Nebraska feels like they stopped him.
We're trying to snap it quickly there, and I don't know if the offense was ready. It looked like they might have been moving before the snap. I don't know if that formation was legal either.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 5, was moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
So, Gus, here's the problem. If you're trying to go super high tempo, there's no reason to attach a motion to it, because in order to kick a motion and get a motion going, everyone has to be set, then the motion goes. But if you're trying to hurry to the line of scrimmage and everyone's rushing up there, then you have the motion go, then no one is set in time.
Has requested a measurement on the play to determine if the line to gain was made prior to accepting the foul.
So this is interesting, okay, because it was a sneak, and Scott Frost is saying, hey, if they didn't get it, I'm declining this, and it's our ball. And boy, that's close. It looks like maybe the second effort got it, but it did based on where the spot happened. And so now they'll take the penalty and move it back 5 yards and say,
the illegal motion by number 5 of the offense will be enforced 5 yards from the previous spot. We'll replay 4th down.
And Scott's saying, your spot was wrong by that much. He wanted it bad. This is
Blake Hallbeal. This ball spotted at the 24-yard line. So a 34-yard attempt. First of the year. Hallbeal. And it's good. 17-14 Ohio State. 3:12 to go in the first half. Coming up next on Fox, number 17 Iowa State takes on Chuba Hubbard. 17-14. Let's see how Nebraska responds now after Hallbeal.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's a mistake all the way around, right? Quarterback's got to be looking at the play clock. Coaching staff's got to be looking at the play. Somebody's got to have their eye on the play clock because those 5 yards are a big one.
Luke McCaffrey in at running back for Nebraska. Martinez gives it to him. McCaffrey no room as he dropped for a loss by Zach Harrison.
Well, Zach Harrison is a guy that they're expecting a lot out of. Remember, folks, the most disruptive player that I can remember on defense in recent memory, Chase Young, no longer on this team. He was such a huge factor, obviously, for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and they're looking for all of these defensive ends to step up and try to replace some of that disruptiveness and production.
Martinez in trouble. Martinez is sacked. Haskell Garrett got back there quickly.
Beautiful little swim move. Watch this. He's just going to pop right around that right guard, Matt Farniok, and he gets right to the quarterback. Does a great job, and Martinez had no shot.
It's going to be interesting to watch defensive line coach Larry Johnson develop another great pass rusher. He's had Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Chase Young. Who's up next for the Bucks?
I was 9 years old when Sandra Day O'Connor.
Cornhuskers 17-14. Nebraska faced with a 3rd down and 20 from the 15. Martinez wants to run it. Bounces. Martinez, and he is dragged down for another sack inside the 10-yard line.
Gus
Garrett
back
there again.
Yep. Gus, disruptive. Watch as Garrett gets through the line of scrimmage again, just power, and he's right in the face of Martinez. Martinez has got to bail out to the right side, and the Silver Bullets are there to get him to the ground.
Josh Proctor cleaning it up.
The best way to get the new large 3-topping.
Welcome back. Nebraska will punt it out of their own end zone. Garrett Wilson signals for the fair catch, and he has it at the 42. With 2:25 to go, plenty of time for Ohio State.
There's a flag on the ground. Way back on the 18-yard line. That defense really rose to the occasion on that series. They were fast, they were aggressive. Haskell Garrett wreaking havoc in the backfield. The senior from Las Vegas, of course, a storied high school career at Bishop Gorman.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 9. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down.
Dismuke.
Well, as Dismuke is trying to get away, he's right in the middle, and he's trying to get away, and you see that hand up at the face. He was trying to hit the arms away, and I mean, are we going to call holding or are we going to call face mask, right? I mean, Jameson's clearly holding Dismuke, so that's a really bad break for Nebraska. That's a poor call, and it gives Ohio State a short field here that they're going to try to take advantage of.
From the 46, Fields runs it, and Fields tripped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Last year they didn't want to run him because they felt they didn't have the backups that could guide the team. How do they feel about it this season?
Well, they're a little deeper. It's the same backup in Gunnar Hoke, and he's clearly a little more experienced. But they've got two true freshmen, very highly recruited, highly skilled players waiting in the wings, so they feel much better than last year.
Fields going for the home run! Touchdown! Oh, Olave couldn't hold on, and he goes down hard. And Chris Olave getting up slowly.
Really good coverage by DiCaprio Boodle, number 7. This is a beautifully thrown ball down the field. Fields gives Olave a chance, and Olave tries to climb the ladder, and then Boodle just takes his legs out, and he lands hard, and that's when the ball comes out. And Olave will go to the sideline.
3rd down and 7. At the 43 for Ohio State. 1:52 to go in the first half. Justin Fields has been almost perfect. Here's Fields. Does it this time over the middle, and it's caught for first down by Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, partners, had a big first half.
He is, and he's a big reason why they're built for success out at the wide receiver position. Built for success is presented by Rocket Mortgage. For personalized playbook on home loans, Rocket can. Talented and young group of wide receivers that I think is going to have to lead this offense early in this season.
Fields again to throw it over the middle. And incomplete. Whoa, he threw that one into heavy traffic. Ruckert, the intended receiver, he got his bell rung. Dismuke, number 9 for Nebraska, also getting up slowly.
Pass interference. Defense, number 5. That's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Boy, Cam Taylor-Britt maybe arrived a little early. I don't know if that ball was even close to catchable, as Dismuke was the one that had easily the best chance at it. And that's what Scott Frost, I'm sure, is saying. He's thinking to himself, what in the world? That was not a very well-thrown ball from Fields. It was way too far inside, probably ill-advised because of the coverage to begin with. I think the player that had the best chance to catch that was actually the safety, Dismuke. And yet another call goes against the Cornhuskers and creates first down inside the 20.
Master Teague in at running back for Ohio State. 1st and 10 at the 17. They give it to the Master. And a first down. And that's what they want from Master Teague. They want to get him to downhill run.
That's right. He's much better straight ahead than when you're asking him to have a little bit of wiggle. And that's a great run for him as evidence of that. Big hole by the offensive line, and he gets downhill in a hurry.
Gain of 11. Teague again breaks it back. Touchdown Buckeyes. Just like that. Ohio State punching it in. 2nd touchdown of the day for Master Teague.
Beautiful cut. Found the hole in the defense. Cuts back. Right across Colin Miller, number 31. Watches Miller, number 31. He's out here, and he's going to get caught in the box, and then he's just going to get outside just a little bit, and Teague runs right through the arm tackle for a touchdown.
Nice block by Wyatt Davis, number 52. The preseason first-team All-American for Ohio State. Extra point up and good. 24-14 Buckeyes. Starting to get in rhythm now, both offensively and defensively. At home, season opener, Big Ten. They send it away with 1:10 remaining, and they'll start after the fair catch.
You know, Gus, good teams take advantage of breaks that go their way, and Ohio State did that on that last series. Both of those flags were highly questionable. First on the punt. You know, given a free 15 yards because of that face mask when clearly Jameson is holding Dismuke, and then they get that pass interference when the ball is not really in the vicinity of a catch for the tight end as they're trying to find Ruckert down the middle of the field. And guess what? Ohio State capitalizes. That's what good teams do, but you got to be frustrated if you're a Huskers fan.
2 timeouts remaining for Nebraska. Martinez underneath, and the reception made by Levi Falk.
Done a good job with their tight ends, haven't they? And then Falk slips in there from the wide receiver position as well.
First down flag there for Mills.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. We play second down.
Well, that's on Farniok, the right guard. Here he is working against Garrett, and you see that arm wrapped around, and he just kind of takes him down almost like a wrestler.
Farniok, number 71, tough day so far with Haskell Garrett, who has 2 sacks already.
Mills.
Pete Werner, Togiai combining on the play.
Problem so far with this Nebraska team is that if they're not on schedule, they don't have the wide receiver core to get loose down the field.
3rd down and 11. Nebraska wants to waste as much time as possible. They will be okay with going into the locker room trailing at 24-14. And that's where we stand. End of the first half. 24-14. You have to like the way Nebraska competed, but Justin Fields, he wasn't a Heisman Trophy finalist for nothing, folks. This kid is the real deal. 24-14 coming up the halftime show. Right after this from the shoe.
Up with some of those young wide receivers getting their feet wet.
Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
Well, and speaking of just getting warmed up, that's a sense I got from both coaches. Pleased that we got half of football out of the way for Nebraska. Coach Frost acknowledged to the quarterback and what they can do offensively. For Coach Day, he said, I need to continue to settle in. That's in terms of the offense and running the football. And defensively, after that first big play we gave up, we have gotten better. Let's just keep this thing going.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Sermon running the ball on 1st down, and he'll be tackled for a loss. Colin Miller making the stop. And this Nebraska defensive line has done a really solid job of making sure Ohio State's not been able to run the football.
Yeah, at least with their running backs. And you're right, they've done an excellent job up front.
2nd down and 11. Fields to throw it. Fields looking over the middle, and he has Sermon out of the backfield. Colin Miller again defensively for the Huskers.
Those are the nondescript plays that Ryan Day is going to be really pleased with, because one of the things he was talking about coming into this game with Justin Fields is he wants him to go out there and just utilize the offense, play within himself. You can't win the Heisman or win a national championship or avenge the loss to Clemson in one game. Just operate the system and take what the defense gives you.
Last year, Fields completed, though, 67% of his passes. Empty backfield, 3rd and 5. Fields underneath, caught again. Garrett Wilson with another big gain and a 1st down.
They do such a good job. Partner, we've seen this for how many years now? They're going to bring the crossing routes and then the mesh at the top. 2 crossing routes. There's Wilson. He's wide open. And look at the ball placement from Fields. It's right on the face of Wilson. It allows him to run after the catch.
And Fields throwing again. And it's Olave. Did he get his foot in?
Of course he did.
Of course he did. Too sweet.
Goodness.
He can do it all.
And he makes it look so easy. How about the body control? Gus, I mean, it looked like the ball goes in the air, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be a tight catch. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. And he just very smoothly grabs out of the air, gets his foot down, and creates a short yardage situation. And in this situation, Ryan Day loves to take a shot on 2nd and short on his side of the 50.
2nd down and 1 at the 45. Olave in motion. Sermon looking for the 1st down, and he has it. Quentin Newsom grabbed his ankle, brought him to the turf after a 3-yard pickup and a 1st down for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, good open field tackle there, because the blocking was real good at the line of scrimmage, and was able to stop him for a short game, but they moved the chains.
Ohio State already in Nebraska territory from the 42. Fields whips it, and Garrett Wilson again.
He slips and falls down, and the ball is so well thrown, it's just right on his face. All he's got to do is put his hands up and catch it.
Gosh.
That's when a quarterback is feeling it, right? That's when it's in rhythm. It's like, hey, that's fine. You fell down. That's fine. Here's the ball. Bam! Right on your face.
Garrett Wilson has been a favorite target for him so far, partner.
7 catches, 128 yards.
Second down and 2. Sermon, first down, hits the sideline even more, and stays in bounds, gets close to the 15. Ushered out of bounds by Will Honus.
A year ago, this Ohio State team ran it all over Nebraska for over 300 yards. They felt like they were going to be able to run the ball effectively here today. They have it so far, but now with a little rhythm in the offense, starting to get a little bit loose now in the run game.
First and 10 at the 17. Fields looking, and a run at Fields, tries to get outside, spins, touchdown, Justin Fields. He had 10 rushing touchdowns a year ago. This is his first one of the season, and Ohio State takes a 30-14 lead.
This is just backbreaking for the defense, because watch, they do everything right. They're trying to get this ball to Olave right down the middle, and they played it perfect. Deontay Williams is there, and then an above the X's and O's player takes it outside, spins, and still gets in the end zone. The defense is perfect, and yet Fields is still in the end zone. Great block on the outside by Thayer Munford, number 75.
Hobbiel in to attempt the extra point, and it is good. Deflected at the line of scrimmage, but Hobbiel muscles it in. And talk about muscle. Look at the young man from Georgia. Picking him up, putting him down. Ohio State starting to take this one away. And a fair catch by Belt. There was no winner last week, so this Sunday, Fox Bet Super 6 is giving you another chance at $1 million. You can play for free right now, so download the Fox 25 high snap handled by Martinez, and he'll get it to Mills, who plows his way forward. Togia with the tackle.
Well, this offense has got to stay on schedule. By on schedule, I mean, 2nd and 5 or 6 like they are right here, because if they're behind the chains in long yardage situations, they just don't have the wide receiver talent to throw the football against Ohio State. So it's crucial that they have success on 1st and 2nd down to stay in these situations.
Martinez drops it off near side. Austin Allen. And it looks like he's close to the first down. Maybe a tad short. Pete Werner defensively for the Bucks.
And there's another one of those just base offensive plays to keep you on schedule, so that, Gus, if you get to a 3rd down, you can slow down the pass rush, because it is not an obvious passing situation here. A 3rd and short, their entire playbook is at their disposal.
3rd down and 1. Quarterback sneak. Let's see. Looks like he has it. And a 1st down for Nebraska.
And I agree with the guys. You heard of the guys talk about at halftime that Nebraska is going to have to do something to take a shot down the field. And you see the second effort there as Mills does his best, Reggie Bush, to help his quarterback across the line. Sorry, Brady. But they can only take a shot down the field if they've got play action at their disposal, which means they need to be in a normal down situation.
They're swinging out. This is Robinson with a lane. And Wandale Robinson. Pick up 7. Marcus Hooker with the tackle. Remember, Martinez accounted for 338 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Buckeyes as a freshman. Held to 47 yards passing with 3 interceptions last year.
Yeah, but you remember who was on the field last year? 2 first-round draft picks at corner and the 2nd pick in the draft at defensive end.
Chase Young. 2nd and 2. Straight ahead. 1st down.
Nice run there.
Mills. Some people feel that Chase Young is the greatest pass rusher in the history of college football.
Well, and that's not us. That's what the Nebraska coaches were talking about. And in terms of a relief of not having to face him. And they said it was so difficult because you had to beat these 2 first-round corners in 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. It was almost impossible. And Martinez struggled, certainly.
1st and 10 at the 48. Here's the option. Old school Nebraska football here. As they get inside Ohio State territory. Werner again dropping Martinez.
I love the fact that they get this and then they get it downhill. By downhill, I mean they fake that dive and then he gets it going up the field immediately. There's no man for the quarterback. He got sucked in on that dive fake 54, and Martinez reads it perfectly, gets in the alley, and has a nice game.
Where's Tommy Frazier when you need him?
Ooh, he was sweet, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. 2nd and 3 at the 45. And Martinez trying to get the first down, lost it, picked up Buckeyes. 7 Banks, sprinting, 7 at the 20. 7 Banks, touchdown, Ohio State.
What a play from Banks, a fortuitous bounce. Martinez had an open lane, but chose to try to bubble this outside. And that's when Jonathan Cooper, number 0 for Ohio State, just got enough of his right arm. Watch as Martinez is trying to get upfield, and as he's trying to bubble around, you see right there, his arm just got pulled back, and then it just slides out. Sometimes as a quarterback has those rib protector pads, Gus, I can tell you from experience, the ball gets slippery when you're trying to squeeze it against your ribs, and it just popped out there because of the effort of Jonathan Cooper, and Banks is there for a touchdown.
37-14. As Hallbeal. Extra point good. 38-14. Ohio State. Defense. 7 Banks. Picked it up. Scott Frost, not a happy coach. Touchdown, first turnover of the game from either team, and this time Ramir Johnson will run it, crosses the 20 and gets close to the 25. Now, no matter where you're, first down at the 24. Robinson crosses. Here's a handoff near side. Mills. And he'll get 9 on the play as he runs out of bounds. Sean Wade defensively for the Buckeyes.
And fumbles now continue to plague Adrian Martinez. He has 21 fumbles in his career, lost 10 of them, and put it on the ground again on that last series. And again, you know, it wasn't forceful contact, Gus. It seemed to be that he was just trying to do a little too much. Jonathan Cooper pulled that right arm back. That's just a back break. You can't have those plays if you want to come in here and beat Ohio State. Ohio State is way too talented, and as we've already seen, they will capitalize on mistakes, and they certainly have here today to the tune of a 38-14 lead.
Nebraska 5-7 a year ago, 3-6 in conference play, and this time it's Tompkins. Ronald Tompkins, redshirt freshman from Longville, Georgia. And it's going to take time for this Nebraska team. As we mentioned, Scott Frost, a lot of addition by subtraction. He got rid of some guys, but the university, they are confident that he can rebuild this team from the high school system.
And probably a little bit of a, I would say, a bigger rebuild than even Scott realized when he got to Nebraska, and he's working on that culture, believes that they have a really positive culture going. He knows that the schedule is going to be difficult this year, however.
Martinez running down the sideline. Nice run as he gets out of bounds. Didn't pick up the first in front of Marcus Williamson. So what you're seeing from Ohio State is, yeah, a lot of pros played on this team last year and left, but these young men from Ohio State are saying, yeah, we're pros too.
Well, and that's how it's been for the last few years. Obviously, we know the pedigree at defensive end, but it's the same in the defensive secondary. All those secondary players getting selected in the first round.
Martinez. And he drops it off. Tompkins. First down. A lot of hard hitting going on the field, folks.
Man, they are flying around, and really credit Martinez there for finding an open spot to get that completion down the field and continue to move the chains. this is a better version of Nebraska's offense than what we saw a year ago. And I know they're not overly dynamic at the wide receiver position, but their offensive line has played pretty well today.
First down. Martinez dancing in the pocket, decides to run, has a first down and more, hits the sideline, gets a block, down the sideline, and tiptoes out of bounds inside the 10.
Gus, this is the problem for this structure of defense. How many times did Jeff Hafley talk about it last year when we would have our meetings? He was constantly worried about the element of the quarterback run, and there weren't many quarterbacks on their schedule a year ago until Trevor Lawrence that could expose them as such. And here what we're seeing is Martinez and at times McCaffrey have been able to expose them in the run game. Martinez now 86 yards on the ground, McCaffrey 66 yards on the ground, and it's something to watch moving forward that this structure of defense has had problems with the quarterback that is mobile.
First down and goal at the 8, and the handoff to Mills. We'll get inside the 5. Did you read what Nick Saban said this week?
Yeah.
About defense in college football? I thought he was really on point.
He basically said,
Nebraska sending it away 38-17. And it's Muff picked up at the 10. But a fair catch was called. 38-17, Ohio State. Justin Fields and company back on right after this. Terrific story. First down and 10 at the 10 for Justin Fields. He's in trouble. Sack. Safety. No, but close. This D-line for Nebraska, they have played their hearts out. Will Honus.
Honus comes on that blitz, and he just runs right by Josh Myers, the center, and is in the lap of Justin Fields. Fields had no shot. A couple of Nebraska Cornhuskers in there, including number 44, Garrett Nelson. Martinez wants the safety, but they had him corralled just short of that goal line.
An 8-yard loss. 2nd and 18 from the 2-yard line. Fields handing it off. Chambers this time. Steele Chambers, the redshirt freshman from Roswell, Georgia. Tackled by Honus again. You just have a feeling, regardless of the outcome of this game today, that this is going to be a better season for Nebraska.
Yeah, and like I said, Gus, it's going to be interesting because their schedule, I mean, it is difficult. They were done no favors. Let's just say that. Obviously, Scott Frost has been outspoken in saying that he doesn't believe that was done by coincidence. However, you know, you look at this team and the way they've played so far today, I think that the improvement is stark from a year ago.
At home next week against Wisconsin, and looks like the Badgers have a nice-looking quarterback developing as Jack Cohn has been injured for the season for the Badgers, but I'll tell you what, the young man last night was flipping that ball around.
Yes, he was. Graham Mertz was playing amazing and slow to get up here behind the play, and Ohio State fans will not want to hear this. Number 52, Wyatt Davis, and now he's going to limp off the field as they chat about this flag that came in late as Steele Chambers was hit.
Davis originally opting out, but then he opted back in when it was announced that the Big Ten would have a season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they picked this flag up. The way that play ended, Chambers got hit. His location totally changed. There seemed to be what I would say is kind of incidental contact, potentially high.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 6. The previous play is under further review.
You know, I don't know. This is going to get called on Quentin Newsome. And watch Dismuke. Okay, see,
actually,
here's the problem. He lowers his head.
Actually, it was number 5, Cam Taylor-Britt.
And he led and initiated contact with the crown. See, I thought he initiated contact with the shoulder based on the angle that I had.
Targeting review is on number 5 of the defense.
And I think Cam knows that his day is over.
Yeah, did you see? And remember, this is I think a great difference from earlier. Remember when we had the review against JoJo Doman and he was kept in the game because he led with his head to the side, hit with the shoulder just below the head and neck area. Here it's pretty clear Taylor Britt lowers his head, watch this, and the contact is to the head or neck with the crown, and that's the point. As soon as it happens with the crown, I think that this is probably going to be upheld in review.
Cam Taylor Britt, third nationally last year with 4 forced fumbles, which were the most by a Husker in 20 years. Named honorable mention, all Big Ten. Mike Pereira is with us. Rulebooks, what do you got?
Well, you know, I like to agree with Joel all the time, and I probably should here. But remember now, you're talking about all the elements. You're talking about attacking. You know, you're not talking about, obviously, a defenseless receiver here. Now, we know that the crown is the crown, and he does kind of lead. Is it that attacking motion? I thought, like you, Joel, at first it was shoulder.
The ruling on the field of targeting against number 5 has been confirmed. Number 5 for Nebraska has been disqualified from the game. Will enforce 15 yards from the dead ball spot. First down.
Michael, finish, please.
And you know, again here, to me, I'd like to see more of an attacking motion here. You know, and we know we've always lived on this. You know, is it a severe one? Is it too much of a penalty to be disqualified? But here, just dropping, and to me, it's just not forcible enough to think it's a foul. But that's what you're looking at now as you try to eliminate these types of hits. But I'd still fall on the sword of saying I don't really agree with the call.
That's going to hurt next week as they have to face Wisconsin and their up-and-coming rising star that we were just talking about, Graham Mertz. Graham Mertz, 20 of 21, threw the ball incredibly well yesterday night.
Fields steps up and slides down.
Because now Cam Taylor Britt, number 5, who is, like you were talking about, partner, very experienced playmaker, disruptive player for that Nebraska team, is going to have to sit out the first half of next week against Wisconsin. So a major blow to the defense, and in particular when you have a year where you only have 8 games, this targeting foul becomes even more penal for those that are disqualified.
Steel Chambers. And Steel Chambers gains a yard. Will Honus with the tackle. Cam Taylor Britt just almost in tears on the Nebraska sideline.
That's why I would love to see college football do the right thing and increase the levels of targeting and make 2 categories, Gus, so that when we have the egregious style targetings when they're launching and really putting people at danger.
Like face mask.
Well, they don't have that anymore. There's just one category of face mask, but they used to, and they did away with it. So now, if you're really attacking, you know, and putting people in danger, launching with the crown of your helmet, I understand disqualifying that player. But when it's bang bang and incidental, the penal nature of this foul, especially in an 8-game season, I just think that we do the players a disservice by making it this way, and I don't know if it's going to change.
And Fields throwing out wide, and this time it's a Whoa. Chris Olave took a blow, and he gets up slowly. Wow.
For multiple injured players of both teams.
Chris Olave, dazed.
Oh, man. Huge collision there between Dante Williams and Chris Olave. You had the element as well as those chasers for Nebraska who kind of create momentum as well going into Williams. And man, that ball, by the way, looked like it was out, and a clear recovery in the normal course of action by Nebraska, they may take a look at that, because Olave, unfortunately, looked like he dropped the ball as soon as that contact took place, and you can see why.
New lifter gloss from Maybelline.
You see that his helmet is nowhere in the vicinity as he walks off the field.
Well, and here's that play. You can tell, yeah, I mean, he clearly is going down, and I think that ball is
prior
out.
to the injuries is that the ball carrier was down by contact for a first down.
Remember, you can go back and in replay create a turnover if in fact that ball is out, which it looks like it is, as long as the recovery happens in the immediate action by the opposing team, which it does as JoJo Domann dives in immediately and recovers that ball. Gus, unfortunately for Ohio State, and you understand why, that ball is out, it looks like, before Olave was down.
The ruling on the field that the ball carrier was down by rule is under review.
See, as he's going down, he's kind of on top of one of those Nebraska defenders when that ball starts to come loose and he starts to lose control.
Mike Herrera, what do you think?
Well, what I think is I learned my lesson. I'm never going to disagree with Joel again. and so I clearly agree with them here, and I'm glad that replay got that shot to look at it. The big thing is, to me, is the continuing action. Did it happen in the immediate continuing action? And clearly it did when 13 fell on the ball. So replay should take this play and give the ball to Nebraska.
That sandwich between Quentin Newsome and Olave, you know, you understand why that ball started to come loose. And then Domann immediately, there's the immediate action, as we keep saying. And it's going to be pretty cut and dry, at least in my estimation, because that ball clearly is coming loose. There's a recovery, and probably should be first down for Nebraska here.
Deontay Williams, 6'1", 205, the safety.
Gus, they were so excited to get him back. You know, he's a guy that came in as a junior college transfer, and they were so excited last year. He got hurt in their opening game, only started one game, gets hurt, and has to sit out the rest of the season. And so, you know, to a man, they all said, hey, we can't wait to get Deontay Williams back. They had an experienced secondary around him between Boodle and Dismuke and Taylor Britt, even though Taylor Britt is now disqualified after the targeting earlier. But Deontay Williams is a guy that they felt was going to put their secondary into that next category as a group that could be dominant at times. Thankfully, Chris Olave came out of that medical tent, but doesn't look like he's got his helmet near him.
After further review, the ball carrier fumbled the ball, and it was recovered by number 13 of Nebraska in the immediate continuing action. It'll be Nebraska's ball, 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Well, partner, you've said it, I don't know how many times, but this defense for Nebraska, you know, they look different this year. They're flying around. They're more physical. Their defensive line has done a nice job, in particular with a lot of new faces up there, and they're doing a nice job.
Here's the run for McCaffrey and quarterback. Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense, number 54. Correction, 56. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Bo Wilson at left guard. And this is exactly what we talked about earlier. You know, Nebraska is not going to be built to be off schedule, in particular against Ohio State. There's that right hand that he's pulling Haskell Garrett. And boy, how good has Haskell Garrett been today? In particular, after
he's been awesome.
That scary injury over the offseason. If you don't know, Haskell Garrett was actually shot in the face. Bullet goes through both cheeks. in a very scary incident, and he's back on the field doing big things for the Buckeyes, and happy that he is.
Big Noon Saturday, sponsored by AT&T Business. 38-17 our scores. We start the fourth quarter. Nebraska first down and 20 at the 11. Martinez back in at quarterback. Drops it off. Robinson.
They'll bring McCaffrey back on the field, and McCaffrey and Martinez will share the backfield.
McCaffrey at running back now. And Martinez finds McCaffrey in space, and McCaffrey chopped down at around the 23. Pete Warner, Tuck Borland combining on the tackle. He's got the same kind of mannerisms when he's got the football in his hands as his big brother.
Yes, and you know, the one thing that strikes me is they immediately look to get upfield. You know, they've just got that. They turn, square their shoulders up, and they're moving north and south.
Martinez trying to make people miss, and he'll be tackled for a loss. Zach Harrison this time.
And the pass rush gets home, but that was more because of the coverage on the back end. Nowhere to go with the football for Martinez, no separation. A young secondary doing a great job allowing that pass rush to get home. And then it's the young pass rusher, Zach Harrison, 6'6", 265 pounds, that finally gets Martinez to the ground.
Garrett Wilson is the deep man. Christie. Line drive. Bounce picked up. Wilson inside Nebraska territory, and he'll fall forward at the 42. Nice run by Garrett Wilson. What a great all-around game for the young man. Out of Lake Travis in Austin, Texas. Back after this. And Brutus is here in spirit. The Buckeyes lead it 38-17. 13-16 remaining in the fourth quarter. Justin Fields has had a wonderful day. Almost perfect. 17 of 18.
He's also their leading rusher. But as far as the running backs go, Teague has the 29 yards.
Fields. Oh, and Fields is sacked. Great job as Caleb Tanner shot the gap and comes up with the big play.
They were trying to get the ball to Garrett Wilson, but they needed a lot of time, and this pass rush got home. That's something that Nebraska struggled with a year ago, was rushing the passer, and it's also something that Ohio State struggled with a year ago, is protecting Justin Fields. They gave up 31 sacks, the most by an Ohio State team since Braxton Miller back in 2011.
But that's what they said to us in so many words. They were concerned that he would hold the ball a little bit too long.
That was concept driven because they were trying to clear out with Julian Fleming, the freshman wide receiver, and they sent Garrett Wilson on a long wheel route to try to get him open down the sideline.
Fields to the sideline this time, and it's caught on the deep sideline by Julian Fleming. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny.
Well, Buckeye receiver Chris Olave did just head to the locker room, but I believe this is very precautionary, guys. He was having a positive conversation with receivers coach Brian Hartline. And, you know, Gus, you talked about the fact that he changed his number to 2 this season. The reason being CO2. He tells me he's ready to explode. There are some high expectations for the junior, and since I know you like nicknames, I figured you'd like it.
All right, sounds like a good one that we can use going forward. Third down and 4 at the 36, and Master Teague, first down.
Well, he certainly had a great day. 6 catches, 104 yards. But, listen, I know exactly what the Buckeye fans are thinking at home, Gus.
What are they thinking?
Chris Olave walks to the locker room the week before they play Penn State in what I think is their biggest test of the Big Ten season. And so they will be hoping that he is okay and ready to play next week as they travel to State College.
Here's a handoff. And not a lot. Nothing, rather. Ty Robinson with the tackle for the loss.
Boy, I like Ty Robinson a lot. And the coaching staff for Nebraska talked glowingly about the young defensive lineman, 6'6", 310 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman, and he's a guy that they feel like is going to be a really good player for them in the future. There's a lot of those young players littered around this roster for Nebraska. Over 70 players are freshmen or sophomores on this roster.
Fields pulls it out, drops it down. Whoa! Flag on the play. Ball intended for Smith-Njigba. But Deontay Williams comes up and dislodges the football, and there is a flag, and let's hope it's not another targeting call against the Cornhuskers.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 8. The previous play is under further review.
Well, he lines him up here, and this ball was totally telegraphed by Fields across the middle. As he's rolling out, he's trying to get the ball to the freshman, and here he's going to go in and he's going to try to go low. Listen, he's trying to go low and lead with his shoulder. He does launch. There's the indicator for launch, and Jaxon Smith-Njigba is a defenseless player, so that any forcible contact to the head or neck area is going to uphold this targeting. Scott Frost hates the call. I think this is close, and this is part of the problem with targeting, is that it incentivizes quarterbacks to put the ball in places that is harmful for their wide receivers. You know, in the past, Gus, you would never throw that ball as a wide receiver because you would be...
After further review, the ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. Number 8 is disqualified from the game.
This is too much. This is too much, Joe.
I mean, disagree with that call. He is doing everything he can to go low. I know it looks bad, but he's trying to go under the head or neck area. He's trying to lead with his shoulder. Hey, college football, what do you want him to do?
Exactly.
What do you want him to do?
What can he do?
You can't go two-hand touch on that. That is a poor call, and now Nebraska's defensive secondary is decimated, not only for the remainder of this game, but also for the first half of the Wisconsin game, which just proved a night ago that they're one of the better passing teams in this conference, with a young quarterback in Graham Mertz that went 20 of 21. That is a poor call and a bad rule in the college football landscape.
So now Cam Taylor-Britt and Deontay Williams have been ejected from this game. First down and 10 at the 17.
And Buckeye fans know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, man,
from
do
last
they.
year.
They certainly do. So now Fields takes his time. From the Nebraska 17, here's the handoff. Teague down the sideline. And he's upended and dropped by Boodle.
Gus, I want to bring in Mike Pereira, because this is not just me saying this. Mike, you agree with what I'm talking about here?
Yeah, I certainly do. I like the rule, but to me, that's more shoulder to shoulder. If you watch the head, it goes forward, not back. You have to confirm all elements, and to me, it's just not targeting.
Jeremy Ruckert with the catch.
Appreciate it, Mike.
First down and goal at the 5. Fields rolls out, throws it, incomplete. Smith-Njigba, the intended receiver. I do not think he got a foot in down, and no, he did not.
He was trying to, and very athletic. He was the number 5 overall wide receiver in the class, a 5-star player. And you look as he's trying to get that, well, control.
He may have gotten that foot in.
Goodness. That looks like a catch and a touchdown.
They ruled it incomplete, but that was clearly a touchdown.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And the hat being off to the official signifies that he felt like somebody stepped out of bounds.
The
maybe
ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
Well, he clearly, look, they know it too. He clearly has control of that ball and gets his right foot down. No one's going to dispute that. So I think at this point, because the hat was off from the official, the only question I have, Gus, is did he step out of the back of the end zone before coming over to catch it?
Didn't look like it.
It didn't look like it to me either. This is, look, control, now a body part down, and that, goodness.
Touchdown for Ohio State.
And then I guess, listen, we do have to. Yeah, nowhere close to being out of bounds, and the official's hat was off for the opposite side.
Jaxon Smith-Njigba caught 5,346 yards worth of passes at Rockwell High School in Texas. 82 of them for touchdowns.
I mean, that's incredible. He was the Texas 6A Player of the Year. I mean, he has been impressive. Fields took a little pop at the end of that to get that ball to the back of the end zone, but he's been doing this in fall camp. You know, he was the first true freshman to have his black stripes. See, at Ohio State, they put the black stripe down the middle of the helmet, and you've got to earn your way onto this roster and within this Buckeye family. He was the first true freshman in this fall camp to get that black stripe taken off, and it's almost like a rite of passage, Gus, and you can tell why with plays like that.
After further review, the receiver's right foot was down in the end zone with possession of the ball. It is reversed to a touchdown.
Wow. Man, I tell you what, man. This guy can play. He's playing in the slot. He's got a backing up Garrett Wilson. This is real speed. Watch this. Oh, just flying his foot back.
Njigba.
Oh, my goodness.
Getting jiggy with it. 44-17. Ohio State extra point is good. Buckeyes started slowly, but here they come. 45-17. 5-17. Freshman Jaxon Smith-Njigba with his first touchdown of his Ohio State career, and man, will people remember it. Just a spectacular grab by the freshman from Rockwell, Texas. And Bell to bring it out of the end zone. Chase that. Ramir Johnson bringing it out of the end zone.
Well, we've seen this defensive line play well, haven't we, partner, including Haskell Garrett, and that's why our moments of protection brought to you by Allstate. Get better protected with Allstate. You've never been in better hands. Those hands of Haskell Garrett have been active. Obviously suffered that very scary incident in August where he was shot through both cheeks. He's back. He's on the field. Thankfully, a huge blessing and dominating. And the senior has played awfully well and been a disruptive force for Ohio State.
So first down at 10 of the 19. Now McCaffrey back in at quarterback for Nebraska.
Offside with contact. Defense number 48. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's Cage.
Cage on that first clap just goes off, draws the movement from the offensive line. Easy call. These are important reps for this defense, Gus.
And McCaffrey rolls out. Down the sideline, first down as he picked up 6 when he needed 5.
And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of these guys in the back end, in the secondary, and up front that they're going to be trying to establish depth. I think these are big snaps for a guy like Josh Proctor, who's the free safety right now, as he's trying to take over in that Fuller spot, who was excellent last year at the safety spot.
High snap handle by McCaffrey. He'll deliver down the field and complete to Robinson. I have a feeling, and I don't know how you feel about this, partner, as McCaffrey The last 9:23 of this fourth quarter. This may be the changing of the guard we're seeing right now at quarterback for Nebraska.
Well, I think what this does is it gives Scott Frost and his coaching staff a real apples-to-apples comparison where they can go and further evaluate this quarterback.
Look at him, break, contain, and incomplete. Intended for Vokalek, and Dallas Gant there. Martinez ready to come back in the game. I stand corrected.
Well, and remember now, they've got this kind of purposeful deal when they're trying to get both of them on the field because they feel like Martinez and McCaffrey are two of their best 11 that they can play on offense. And you can see that based on the total yardage, 282 for them and next to nothing for the rest of the team.
Second down and 10. And they're handed off. Tompkins outside. Lowers his shoulder. He goes out of bounds. Josh Proctor defensively for the Buckeyes.
See, those are the plays that I'm watching for from Proctor. Because how many times did we do the games? Well, first of all, I felt like we did all the Ohio State games last year. But it was Fuller coming up to make those tackles. Gus, I mean, he was one of the best tacklers, in particular in the open field, in all of college football. And that's what they're going to be asking Proctor to do. And at times Marcus Hooker as well. And the best man is going to have to be a huge part of this defense moving forward.
Option, the pitch, Tompkins, first down, Nebraska.
Because this is textbook option from a quarterback. Watch as McCaffrey is going to attack the outside shoulder quickly of the pitch key and then pitch it. See, he gets him to commit and then he pitches the ball outside. He didn't stretch it out and run, you know, side to side, if you will. He goes to the outside shoulder, gets him to commit, and then pitches the ball.
He'll run it this time. With space, lost it. Ohio State, they have it again. Second forced fumble of the game. Josh Proctor covers it up. And Ohio State has the ball.
Beautiful job of hustling into the football from this defense. It looked like it was Dallas Gant, number 19, who knocked it out. Yeah, there's his right hand. He goes in, hits McCaffrey. Poor ball security from McCaffrey there in traffic.
.com, the Fox Sports app, and CFB on Fox social platforms. What do you have going on this week, Park?
Well, I'll be breaking down a lot of this Big Ten after their first week back in action. Who are the contenders? Who are the pretenders?
And it's Sermon. Sermon picks up first, still on the move, and finally tripped up by Dismuke.
I'm surprised Justin Fields is still on the field right now. 45-17, 7 minutes and 40 seconds left. Now, this is probably Gunnar Hoke time or even one of those two young players. Last thing you want is for, you know, Fields to have to take the ball, get caught up in a weird hit. You know, their national title hopes rest on the shoulders of number one. Let's not be mistaken. We talked a lot about other aspects of their team. The reason that they have national title hopes to begin with is because of Justin Fields.
Sermon. Miller with the tackle.
I mean, they've got other backups out there. You've got Matthew Jones, number 55. He's in the ball game at left guard. You know, I think that this is clearly going to be time for them to drain the clock, try to establish the run game, which, based on their running back production, has not been great with Sermons and Teague. And I think you can certainly do that with a different quarterback.
2nd and 7 at the 43. Sermon. And Sermon dragged down from behind after a positive gain. And that's Ben Stille. Good sign for Nebraska. Stille back in the game.
This defense gave it everything they had.
They did.
Let's make no mistake about it. This is one of the most talented offenses in the country. Right up there with the Alabamas of the world and what they're doing right now. Clemson, what they're doing. You know, this team is absolutely loaded on the offensive side.
Third down and 3.
delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
This is that situation I wish someone else was in at quarterback. Obvious passing situation, 45-17 inside of 6 minutes. Just hope Fields gets the ball out of his hand quickly. They're in that empty set, which would suggest that that's the case, and now they'll just go with Sermon in the backfield with him.
3rd down and 8 at the 42. 5:26 and counting remaining in the 4th. Fields. And Fields bottled up and taken down. Sacked by the Huskers. Casey Rogers along with Garrett Nelson. And that may be his final play of the game. 4th time Fields has been sacked today.
And that was something that this Nebraska defense had to generate more of, which is a pass rush. They only had pressure on 29% of opposing quarterbacks dropbacks last year. That was 11th in the Big Ten. Just not good enough to play at the top end of the conference or compete for their division. And they've certainly been better here today against Ohio State.
So that brings on Drew Chrisman. Remember, he had 5 consecutive punts downed inside the 6-yard line against Michigan State 2 seasons ago. He was a player of the game. They say Chrisman is a pro in waiting.
Who's that?
His son RJ, who grew 6 inches during the offseason. Folks, he's a quarterback as McCaffrey goes down.
I miss seeing her. He always comes up to the booth,
he does.
You know?
Good kid. And some of the spirits in this place. I love the cardboard cutouts. We miss you, fans. Can't wait for you to come back. Far side caught. And this time it's Raftel.
They're impressed with this defense after the first series. Nebraska went right down the field. And after that, they locked them down, and in large part due to that defensive line and front 7.
McCaffrey trying to run it now. It'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
I think one of the strengths of this team is their experience at linebacker. And I know they're not in the game now, but between Pete Werner and Tuff Borland, they have played what feels like, because we've done a lot of the games, feels like they've played 1,000,000 games for Ohio State. And Baron Browning, also a guy that's been in this program for a long time, came in as a highly rated 5-star player, #1 outside linebacker. And Kerry Combs has some talented guys, and they're just going to need to find their way, get the experience. And he said it perfectly, Gus, yesterday when he said, listen, yeah, we're young, and guess what? We got some guys that are nervous about tomorrow because they've got big shoes to fill.
Wilson, who's had a great day. And it's down inside Nebraska territory. Tonight on Fox, it's Game 4 of the World Series. Catch Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, and the Dodgers as they take on the Rays. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Starting pitchers for this evening's game. Game 4. Dodgers up 2-1.
Man, it's been a good series. I've enjoyed it. I'm partial, though.
Why?
Because I just love watching Mookie Betts play the sport. Plays with a joy and a passion and a flair. You know, I know Mike Trout is widely considered the best player in the game, but boy, Mookie Betts is making a strong push with what he's been able to do. And even when he's not on fire at the plate, he affects the game on the base pass, plays great defense, fun to watch.
And new quarterback in for Ohio State, Jack Miller, the freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona. And this is Xavier Johnson, sophomore from Cincinnati, running it. Let's check in with Jenny.
Earlier in the broadcast, you guys were giving Zooms a hard time. Can you imagine having to Zoom with your strength coach? So that was the situation for Ohio State. I had a chance to catch up with Coach Mick. Now, he told me this was the most challenging time in his career, but he gave all the credit to his players. So committed, they were using an app to make sure they could handle all of the weightlifting.
Miller out of bounds at the 10. Continue, Jenny.
And as for Coach Mick, he said, you know, this is a player-led thing. I didn't have to worry too much about the guys because they were so committed. And we keep going back to that unfinished business. I know Justin Fields done for the day, but he said to me he's got a look in his eye. It inspires me, and it inspires this whole team.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. First down for Ohio State with Jack Miller in.
You know, everybody was interested to see which of these two young quarterbacks would hit the field first, Jack Miller and C.J. Stroud. They have been very careful to, you know, they pulled the black stripes off at the same time. They didn't release a depth chart, and Buckeye Nation was wondering which of these two guys was going to hit the field first, and they told us, listen, it's been neck and neck between Miller and C.J. Stroud, and so Miller gets his first chance, and nice run there on the left side during Jenny's report.
Gained 21 yards, and another run by Xavier Johnson.
Well, Gus, 45-17. Minute 20 left. A lot of interested parties right now. I believe the line was 28, if I'm not mistaken, as you take a look at what's coming up. Obviously, huge games next week. Wisconsin for these Nebraska Cornhuskers. That's on FS1. And then a huge one there in State College as Penn State will host Ohio State in a top 10 matchup.
Third down and 3 at the 5. And Ohio State get in, and they'll be short of the first down with Johnson with 50 seconds to go.
Oh, it's a big call.
Yeah, it is. Do you think coaches are aware of?
I don't think they are.
Spreads and things like that?
You can call me, you know, naive. Coaches never look at that. As a player, I never understood. Not only understood, I never even realized what they were, but I think they're trying to get some young players good experience.
Fourth down. Touchdown, Ohio State.
How about that? Exhilarating feeling for a young player as Jack Miller keeps it and gets his first touchdown as an Ohio State Buckeye, the 4-star from Scottsdale, Arizona. Nice quality drive there from the young quarterback as his star mentor looks on.
51-17. Ohio State. Buckeyes started slowly, and once they got their rhythm, it was Katie bar the door. 52-17. Ohio State Buckeyes, 5th-ranked team in the nation, will start their season 1-0 with this season-opening win against Nebraska. Up next, they will be at Penn State. Huge game. Johnson running it back, and he's down before he gets to the 15 with 13 seconds to play.
You know, in the waning moments here, I would just make a plea, if you would allow me. And, you know, that defense for Nebraska, they had a couple of calls go against them, and on what could be considered questionable targeting fouls. One, their starting safety, a guy that they're going to rely on, Dante Williams. The other, a corner, Cam Taylor-Britt. I think both of them could be reevaluated, but certainly the one on Williams. And I would just make a plea that the Big Ten office take a look, because that's far too penal on a bang-bang play, in particular when he did everything that he possibly could to try to prevent that targeting from happening. I just don't think that he should miss the first half of the Wisconsin game.
McCaffrey dancing around, drops it off. Brown running and picks up a first down, and that may be it.
Take in the Boss's custom-made aligners directly to your home.
Why?
And you'll get a smile you love
Because
for
football
less
is
than
a rep's
$3
business.
a day.